is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Writing Sprints. I'm your course your host, Andrew. We're gonna have Matt and Kira on in a moment. But before we do that, I'm gonna play a nice little commercial for Alec's live readings. Of course, Alec is gonna be doing his live readings in December. It's gonna be a huge event. We're revamping it, and it's gonna be bigger and badder than ever. So just sit tight, and we'll be right back with the next episode of Writing Sprints. All right, and without further ado, we're going to bring on our guests, Matthew and Kira. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Writing Sprints.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to start.
Been a long time waiting.
Cool down timer. We got our 5-minute timer. So I guess my first question to you guys is, tell us a little bit about yourselves. What got you guys started with your writing career?
Kira, you can go first.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, I had always written, for school and things like that. I never really thought that it was something I, was super passionate about until, what was it, last year? I was kind of going through an identity crisis. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of hated anything that I did, whether it be drawing or something, and then, I just one day when I was up at my grandma's, just decided that, hey, sorry, it just started clicking and I started writing. And then I was like, it clicked. And I finally felt a sense of purpose. It just felt like I was here and this is what I was meant to do. And I just started writing ever since. And I think I've written over the past year, a decent catalog for that time. And I'm still writing to this day.
All right. I got into writing when I was a senior in high school. I took a creative writing class my final semester, and I wrote a very awkward science fiction short story. And ever since then, it kind of took off that I just wanted to tell stories for a living. And I've spent the better part of 10 years now trying to, get some books out there. And my first book, I had finished a draft back in 2016 and kind of shelved it because I didn't know really the process. But my girl who turned out to be my wife kind of got me into the self-publishing aspect. And in 2018, I self-published my first book.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always cool hearing everyone's origin stories or how they get into writing. It's always so different, but it's also at the same time very much the same in certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with this idea of you just want to share your work with other people. And I think at the end of the day, that's what helped me get started. Is I was perfectly fine keeping my ideas to myself, and it just got to the point where I was like, you know what, I really want somebody else to be able to enjoy this as much as I do.
Absolutely.
I definitely feel that. It's I think it's a big part in writing. Is you just want to share it. You just want to get it out there.
Absolutely, and of course, we're being joined by a whole bunch of people on Instagram. Let me give you a nice shout out. We got Matt and of course Courtney joining us. We've got Caleb. We've got Logan. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, we got a packed house here on StreamYard. We got Matt and Kira. Is you've been seeing my my insane promoting tactics. They've been everywhere on my newsfeed, so you should know who they are by now.
Which thank you for that.
If you're a friend of mine, you know me.
Yeah.
You've definitely seen it.
I've been really excited for this one. Really happy to have you guys on.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Up, Nick? Thanks for joining. Oh, hi to your sis. She's not in right now, but I'm sure she'll sneak in during the broadcast. Of course, she's talking about my little sister who always crashes during writing sprints, and she likes to read in the corner over here. Right off.
Hey, that's awesome.
She does her surprise cameos.
Yeah. She is the co-founder of the Andrew Bast Book Club. Of course, her and her best friend are reading Sanguinary Song right now. So,
Excellent.
yeah, it's very, very
Sweet.
cool to have a little bit of a fan club.
Absolutely.
So who's talking? So we got Matt, we got Kara over in on our StreamYard. So if you guys want to see what's going on over there, you got to head over to either our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitch, or of course any of our author accounts on Facebook.
You can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah, everyone's beautiful faces.
I don't know about mine, but you guys are good.
Oh, stop. Of course, we got.
Don't do that to yourself.
About 2 seconds before the next sprint or the first sprint, we go ahead and put the first writing prompt up. Let's see. Writing prompt number 1. Write a 350-word story in the children's genre. It's about a warrior, and it should include a basketball. Also use the sentence, where'd you get that wound? Where'd you get that wound? That's a challenging one.
See, I'll tell you, I was really scared when you talked about prompts because in my head, it was just taking me back to like school. And we had like the writing, what was it called? Like writing assessment or whatever. And we had our times, and I had the worst prompt in the world. It was like you go to a computer store and you see that they're doing a contest, and whoever writes the best essay wins the computer. And you had to write about why you wanted the computer. I'm like, what can I say? I want a computer to do schoolwork and like play games. There's like nowhere you can go with that.
Yeah.
I was angry.
I just got triggered for a quick second because I pulled up my Word document. I was about to start doing this writing prompt. I was like, oh God, I got to get to it.
Yeah, if you guys want to participate in any of the writing prompts or like, give like your 2-piece on it, feel free. I usually have them up there because I remember when I first did this, I didn't have them and everyone was asking for them. And it's like I said, like the majority of my audience watches the show after it's already aired. And I get like a ton of answers to the writing prompt via like Messenger or Instagram. Just like here's my writing prompt answers, and then we just go through them. So
that's really cool.
So I have there in case anybody wants them, if they're watching the stream, that they could sort of relax, and if they get stuck on something, they could just test out the prompt, maybe get them going.
Got you.
I mean, of course, welcome to sprints to both of you guys. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Of course, Nick is a very frequent guest on writing sprints. One of the cool things about writing sprints that I tried to do is I'm trying to get a lot of like artists to come on writing sprints, because I thought it would be really cool if not only are we like working on our projects, but we also had like a visual thing that we can have. And I don't know if you guys caught any of the older sprints, like maybe like in preparation for the show, but it's like our 2 biggest artists that appear on the show are Nick and Brielle. And both of them have completely contrasting styles. Brielle is more of like a computer graphics, and Nick is more of like old style anime.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are very distinct styles.
Yeah.
But that's for the best, though. You kind of like get an umbrella of, styles. And if you keep branching out, you can kind of cover all the bases.
And you don't have that dilemma of, you show up 2 pictures and it's like, what is the difference of these pictures? There is no difference.
There is no difference.
Exactly.
We keep joking that we need to have a draw off from their perspective, and just have fun, like just write the same piece.
That's a good idea.
A drawing prompt.
There you go.
I
had a whole book of those when I was young. It was called like a Do You Doodle book. And like it had all these crazy prompts. And I just remember me and my kid brain being like flying vampire bunnies or something. And drawn a bunch of those.
And for me, it was the Captain Underpants stuff. Like
Oh,
I would always,
yeah.
I would always be drawing that or coloring it in my spare time.
Oh my
Man,
gosh,
that is a blast
absolutely.
from the
That was a good
past.
series.
Yeah, that's real '90s and early 2000s.
Mhm.
Man, Captain Underpants.
It was the
Take
jam
that.
back in the day.
I used to scour the library for them, and it's like anytime there was like man, what do they call them? Scholastic fairs.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Scholastic
always
Fair.
look for those Captain Underpants, and you know what the funny thing is too? Like I used to have like the Shonen Jump art magazines and like Captain Underpants, and they would all come like black and white. So it's like
Mhm.
I'm in there coloring them. It's fun. And I would only color the
Oh my
animes
gosh.
that I liked, like Dragon Ball Z. It's like I was
Mhm.
all right. I'm coloring this all in.
Coloring and doing all the
Mhm.
shadows on the muscles.
Oh yeah, as
Mhm.
close as I got to like artistic display. 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
boy. But yeah, we're very excited to have our guest on the show, and of course, we're very grateful for everyone's participation in the comments. Of course, Nick says, "I've always wanted to see writing sprints as a viewer for once." Yeah, there you go. Your wish is my command.
You know, it's a different experience when you catch it live as to when you catch like a VOD. I noticed that a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's really cool to be able to have multiple people on because it's so much easier for me to play off of like you guys,
Mhm.
as opposed to me just being up here and like looking at the screen. It's like, oh, should I talk so it's not awkward, or should I just keep writing my book and just awkwardly stare into the camera every so often?
Mhm.
It's
Because
a definite like
I've
dilemma
seen
there.
both of those spectrums. Like before I started writing sprints, like I was watching authors that have had writing sprints, and it's like I was telling Alec, I'm like the one I watched was just brutal. It was essentially just we would have like the 15 to 20-minute timers, and it's like during that 5-minute break, they would talk and carry on, and she would read comments. But as soon as that timer started, it was dead silence
Oof.
and she muted herself and she was typing on the computer. You were typing at home or, just watching her type. And it's like, man, that time did not go by pretty quickly at
Yeah.
all.
And I think that that's a rough part about it. You know, it's definitely hard to like focus on what you're writing like when you're talking with someone. Like I'm having that sort of issue
Oh,
now. I've got like my tablet
absolutely.
open, but like I'm not doing anything. I'm like scared to start anything because I know I like want to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's a very interesting show, but it can lead to moments kind of like that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
that's why I try to mix it up a little bit. And of course,
Mhm.
we got the inclusion of comments. Of course, Sharon is showing off that, if you write a comment in our StreamYard stream, we can feature it right on the screen there. So thank you
Yep.
for
Hi, Sharon.
Hello,
Love
Sharon.
you.
So very happy to see you join us. Oh boy. So we got about 8 minutes left on the first sprint. Wow, look at that. It's already gone by really quickly.
Wow.
And it wasn't just dead silence.
And it wasn't just
Hey.
it was actual
Exactly.
entertainment from start to
Yeah. Some
finish.
conversation.
Oh, boy. So
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I'm sorry. But yeah, going back to what you said, Kira, about trying to do a writing sprint while on air, I'd be like, all right, I'm either going to be talking too much or I'm just going to be doing this the entire time.
Exactly. Exactly. It was like a
Yeah.
challenge for me when I came on here. I was like, okay, can I write while keeping a conversation?
Yeah, it's so hard too. It's like even sometimes I get distracted and it's just like, but it's funny too because I get comments from viewers that just tell me some of them just tune in to read, and it's like I
Mhm.
have to have something on when I'm reading, and
Mhm.
like if it's me blabbering on about me streaming a video game or talking to a guest, like hey, more power to you if I help you get your work done.
Absolutely. And I do that a lot with like any kind of work I do, whether it's just some music or like a YouTube video or something on in the background. I mean, it's surprising how much it can help and like kind of, keep your mind going.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Sprints is multitasking 101, 100%. I 100% agree with that. And bringing up the idea of music, music is like super important for me when I'm writing. I know if I want to get to a scene, in particular, I'm blasting a particular type of music. 9 out of 10 times you can catch me listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
Just about to
My
ask,
man.
what kind of music do you guys listen to?
I listen to everything. I mean, it's pretty funny when I get into the truck with my grandfather, and it's like I have 50 style music on, and it can go from like 50 style music to like, you know, I'm trying to think of like Kill Switch Engage, like for example, where it's like hard rock and a little bit of screamo. My grandfather's over here like, I liked your music a minute ago. Can we go back to that?
It's probably a little confused, you know.
It's like,
I
how
would
can
say
you
my
like
mom
all
and I
this
just
stuff?
made like a Spotify playlist, and we have everything from like stuff from The Sound of Music down to like, you know, heavy rock all the way to, you know, 80s. I mean, it's a whole spectrum.
My students really hate me right now because I have gotten to a jazz kick. So I've been listening to a lot of jazz. And they're over here like, come on, Mr. Bass, put on something more modern.
Oh gosh.
You're like, kids, let me educate you on some jazz.
I was gonna say, you know, I used to always be into pop, but I think the past, I don't know, maybe decade or so, I kind of like fell out of the whole pop, you know. I don't know, it just doesn't really connect with me anymore. You know?
We don't know any of these new pop artists anymore.
Yeah, really. I mean, occasionally I'll listen to something, you know, if I like it, you know, I don't like judging whole genres. Like, you know, if I like it, I
Yeah.
like it. But,
Yeah.
you know, when it
Pop
comes to
has
certain
really
things.
changed 100%.
Yeah, and Andrew, you mentioned Lord of the Rings soundtrack for your music. For me, it's either classic rock or soundtracks, mainly John Williams.
Ooh, that's good. See,
Like,
I actually find like a lot of I guess writing inspiration, because I never really like read like poetry growing up. Like I had a few Shel Silverstein books, and that was like the most I really kept it to, like outside of school. But I think I found a lot of my inspiration from music. You know, just
yeah,
there are some
absolutely.
lyricists out there that are absolutely gorgeous, and I mean, truly just write poetry, you know, within their music. And it's a cool thing to listen to. Like Alanis Morissette is one of my absolute favorites that does that. I mean, she can really hit home some cool points, and you know, there's a cool way of explaining it.
And just the right song can get you in that exact mentality and emotional state you need to be in to get into your writing groove.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You know, and it. Oh, that's not nice. The cool thing about music is I remember when I got down to the last chapter of Sanguinary Song, I legit was in tears. I was listening to this song from my favorite band, Alter Bridge. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them at all. But
I'll have to look them up.
it was a song called Blackbird, and it's my all-time favorite song from them. It's like 7 minutes long, but it's like pure emotion. Like I can't say enough good things about Miles Kennedy and his projection range, and like I think he's one of the best vocalists of the modern era, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm biased. But I remember listening to that soundtrack as I was getting to like the final few sentences of the book, and it's like I had been struggling with writing the best ending, and it's like when I got to the end and I just bawled my eyes out. I was just crying. I was like, this is it. This was the way. Like finally something that gives me the emotion I was looking for.
And it's crazy how songs can do that. I mean, I've definitely experienced that before, especially in like games, like video game soundtracks and stuff like that. I mean, some can just kill you, you know, like on the inside, because like you'll relate back to like a story or a time in the game, or just, you know, nostalgia even.
Hey, I'm man enough to admit it, but like Lord of the Rings always gets me.
Dude, ending of Lord of the Rings, man, tears.
The ending, yeah. Like, well, what gets me every single time is when the hobbits go to bow to Aragorn, and he's like, we bow to you, essentially.
Oh, to no one.
You bow to no one, you know. And then they bow to them, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Dude, for me, it's that final shot when the ship is sailing to the Grey Havens and the music. Howard Shore just nailed that soundtrack, and I'm just like, I can't. Every time, man.
See, I know it's probably sacrilegious, but I've never watched Lord of the Rings, but it's something I need to do.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, it's and it's really crazy too, because when you think about it, they're 3-hour movies, so it's like you sit down and watch it on a weekend, like that's your whole night right there.
Or if you're feeling bold, you do the extended editions. That's a weekend.
Oh yes, 100%. I actually own the extended editions, and I'm due for like a watch through of all 3 of them again. So
absolutely, I mean, those are definitely just series like that you can just dedicate an entire weekend to. You know, just one of those.
Hey, winter's coming up. You wrap in some pajamas, get some hot chocolate going, and cue up Lord of the Rings. Boom,
yeah,
here's your weekend.
Say one of those days during the winter, I'll definitely have to get on that. Because I remember like my parents used to watch it all the time when I was younger. And there's probably some scenes I remember like back in my, subconscious. But I need to watch the whole thing and like get the full experience for sure.
Absolutely. And it's one of those mediums where I always reference that is the best book ending that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, look at that. The end of our first.
That was like perfect timing.
Boom.
Nice little way to cap that off. Time go back for 5 minutes.
Some dramatic timing right there.
And of course, you can see it's scrolling on the screen right now if you're watching us on StreamYard. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys are joining. Can't talk today. Hold on a second. All right, going back. You're either joining us via Twitch or YouTube. Thank you guys for joining in on that. If you guys are liking what you're seeing and what you're hearing, please hit that nice little red subscribe button. We're trying to grow our membership here on Twitch and of course on YouTube. And I'm officially a Twitch streamer now. So I'm going to be reading some Resident Evil, some Bloodborne. I think is going to be our first official stream. If you didn't see that ugly mug in my social media posts, Roderick will be coming. And he will be my strength poison build, so we'll get to actually go through and see that. But yeah, thank you guys for all tuning in. And you can look at our social media handles scrolling on the bottom of the screen. That was the point that I was bringing up earlier. Whew, I'm all out of sorts. I've been talking to kids all day, and what's my Twitch? So my Twitch is One True Promotion. So just type in One True Promotion, and you're going to see that I'll be streaming there. And of course, Alec has joined us. What's up, Alec?
Hey, Alec.
Hey, Alec.
Thank you, sir.
And I believe our audio is good, is it not, sir? I think it is.
I would hope so.
Hey, we
everyone miss out on conversations.
It's like, on the studio, everything's gonna be crystal clear. And there's been times where like things look glitchy on here, but they're perfectly fine. And it's just like you just have to like see past it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for joining, Alec. And of course, Jason, that is the Twitch. It is One True Promotion. You should see the One True Promotion logo. And we also have a Discord. Oh boy. I almost forgot about the Discord.
One that I've yet to join because I'm still trying to make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Discord chat in, or Discord code into chat. Here it is right here. Invite copied. And of course, we'll put it right in the comment section here. And of course, Alex says it is a harmony of excellence. I do agree with that.
Absolutely.
All right, and that right there is the link to our Discord. So if you want to, if you're on Instagram and want to get into our Discord, you just pop on over to Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, and of course it'll be right in the chat right there. And the cool thing about our Discord is everybody who's associated with One True Promotion, whether it's Nick, whether it's Alec, whether it's Carrie, whether it's me, we all got our own little windows with all the projects that we're working on. We also got an Among Us chat, if you guys know about the game Among Us. And we actually host get-togethers for Among Us. I know they're going to be doing one after the stream tonight. So if you guys want to get involved with that, you can just reach out on the Among Us chat, and you guys can get involved with that. So we're all about growing a cool gaming community, getting a broadcast community, and he's joining now. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Cool. So do I have to plug anything else? Well, hey, why don't you plug yourself there, Matt? Because I know you're a published author.
All right, let me see what I can plug in here real quick.
And afterwards, you can plug yourself as well, Kira. We can get the plug train.
Too much to plug.
Everyone start following you.
Thank you.
The plug train. Woot woot.
Oh no, we're being crashed by the man himself.
Hello,
Hey.
everybody.
What's up, Nick?
Hey,
Hello.
I decided to just, I was kind of drawing anyway, so I figured, yeah, you know what, I'll just join. But nice to meet you, Matt and Kira.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
The conversation was very good.
I'm glad.
That Lord of the Rings, actually, they just announced, I actually got a 4K Blu-ray player recently. They just announced Lord of the Rings is getting a new 4K remaster coming out this Christmas.
Ooh.
Wow.
So it's going to be super duper high res Lord of the Rings.
Gonna have to drop some serious bucks for that.
Actually, you're right. It's like $100. It's not
Oh
cheap.
gosh.
I believe it.
Wow.
And I think it's for it like includes the theatrical and extended editions. But Peter Jackson like was remastering it himself, so it's gonna looking forward to it. Probably gonna ask
If
it
the
for Christmas.
wizard himself, if he's up behind the helm with that, it's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we got the one.
Was that the rest or is that the sprinting time?
That's the sprint time. So we just
Okay.
got done the rest. And of course, like again, you can follow us at One True Promotion. And of course, we got Matt who is going to do his plugs. He's got his website in the chat. Make sure you guys are checking that out. Is there anything you kind of want to go over there, Matt, about your website and of course your brand?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, gotta find words for this right now.
Hey, you already heard me like tripping over myself and stammering the whole time. So like, no,
We all feel it.
And it's as you guys, as fellow authors, you guys know, like one of the hardest things for us is promoting our own work. It's like, sure, we can write it, but when it comes to talking about it and trying to get it out there, it's like I don't know what to do right now. So the Maven Knight series is my first book trilogy. It's exclusively on Amazon. The first 2 books are available for both ebook and paperback. The third one is in the process, hopefully coming out early 2021 optimistically. I say that very optimistically. It's been a rough trek. But it's a science fiction with a little bit of fantasy in it. I like to coin the term science fantasy for it. Because I drew a lot of inspiration from Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I don't know if any of y'all have read this book series by Pierce Brown. It's called Red Rising. I highly recommend it. It is so good. So yeah, it's I guess trying to figure out a good blurb to tell. It's set in a world, it's somewhat post-apocalyptic, but there's been a lot of recovery because of technological advancements. There are enhanced suits of armor that run off of mystical gems, and there is a whole order conspiracy going around in the world that threatens to wipe out existence and sow chaos, all that good stuff.
Sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got to send me a
Sounds
link to
very
that
cool.
too, so I can pick it up.
Same here.
I'm trying to
Thank you.
I'm trying to read as much indie work as I possibly can,
Mm-hmm.
just to support everybody and to sort of expand my horizons. And it sounds like what you're talking about is really up my alley, because I'm a huge fan of fantasy and pretty much anything medieval, or any concept of which
Mm-hmm.
not many people know. But I do have my degree in history, and of course I had a concentration in medieval history, so like I'm sort of the history guy.
There you
So
go.
anything medieval wise, I always want to jump on and read that. So I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. And again, you guys can follow Matt in his page, or on his page. It's all posted in the chat there. And of course, one thing I do want to say before we move on to Kira and let her do her plugs. I got my own stuff I got to plug, right? I got the happy birthday stream. You saw that at the beginning of the broadcast. October 24th, it's my birthday. It's also Christina Vega's birthday, the main character in Sanguinary Song. Of course, Sanguinary Song is about a coven of witches that protect the world from supernatural creatures. I take an interesting take on mythology and lore that no other author really tries to do. I try to incorporate all mythology into one big compilation, and sort of take what you know about the supernatural and sort of put my own twist on it. So, of course, Sanguinary Song is selling on Amazon. You can pick it up, of course, for $3.99 for ebook, and of course $13.99 for paperback. I made 3 sales today, which I was really excited for. I was just
There
talking
you go.
Oh,
and they're like, "Yeah,
congratulations.
we
That's
haven't bought it
awesome.
yet." And we within this first month we sold about 100 copies,
Wow.
which
Awesome.
during the pandemic I was actually really surprised.
Hmm.
I was able to do much better than I projected. And then, with these 3 book sales, we're getting dangerously close to 200 books sold since release. So if you guys haven't picked up Sanguinary Song and you're looking for a cool, interesting book to get into, I've gotten a lot of good reviews for Sanguinary Song. You can go check them out on Amazon, and you can sort of join into my little coven as well, and explore the world of the sanguinary and all the mysterious creatures of the night.
Super
That sounds
cool.
awesome.
Freeze frame right in there. Yeah. I see. I'm trying to act cool now because I got an audience, but
It was like a perfect and scene.
yeah, end scene.
Jazz
I'm never gonna
hands.
get anything better like that ever again. But yeah. If you guys want to pick up Sanguinary Song, that definitely helped get me to over 200 books sold. That would be absolutely fantastic. I love my audience. I love the people that take a chance on me. I'm absolutely blessed to have the following that I do, and of course I'm blessed to have the guests that I do on, because can't have a cool stream without cool people. Am I right?
Thanks. You can't have a cool stream without a cool host.
Exactly.
So with that said, I've done my plugs. Matt's done his plugs. How about you, Kara? What do you want to plug?
Oh, don't have too much. I have a Instagram page going. You can find me at Elise's Poetry, which is ALECE and then poetry. I also am on Facebook under that same username, and I actually joined, if anyone has the Amino app, I post like on a board. I forget exactly which one it is, but it's a poetry board. But I'm also at Elise's Poetry on there. Besides that, I don't have too much else going on.
Cool. And it's really cool too, because we're catching you at the beginning of your career, and it's
Definitely.
what exactly are you into writing? Or do you have like a particular genre other than just poetry, or?
Not really specifically. I do quite enjoy writing poetry. Like I love rhyming, but also like experimenting with like form and different things. I've always wanted to like push and sort of write maybe a story or a book. I've even had a friend interested in writing one with me, which I think would be great, but I've never quite gotten around to it. But I think it's definitely something I probably will. Definitely something I probably okay. Definitely something I'll pursue in the future. But for the most part, I just kind of write about anything and everything. If just an idea comes to mind, I try to get it out as fast as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it too. And I feel like poetry is such an interesting it's such an interesting medium, and I never really did get the rules down for like standard poetry, but like I know there's so
Same
many
here.
different ways to do it. And it's like recently, thanks to Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know if you guys are gamers at all, but I started playing that, and they did a whole bunch of like things with haikus, and I got really hype in the haikus. So of course, over the summer, I started trying to write haikus, and I was like,
Mhm.
I think I might know the rules for haikus. Like, I think our haikus. I think it's like
Everyone there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Whoa.
Okay,
I'm
I
here.
cut
I
out
heard
there
a
for a minute. Like everyone just paused.
yeah, it
Yeah,
kind of paused for
I
a second
just
there.
looped for a second. All right, cool. We're back. But yeah, I got really into haikus, and I thought it was a really fascinating medium. But of course, I need work because you know you can't just jump into poetry and know what you're doing without researching first. And
Well, but here's the thing is with poetry, I think it's a lot more free than what people might assume. Especially with like free verse, like Walt Whitman was a fantastic free verse poet. You can really just kind of write your own style and write your own way. You don't have to conform to like the rules of like a sonnet or even a haiku. I mean, there's definitely formats, but you don't necessarily have to take them as a poet. You can kind of create what you want to create and still keep it within the bounds of poetry, but it doesn't have to be a specific style or specific composure.
I'm really glad that you said that, Kira, because one of the toughest things, like trying to just like if you're trying to come up with like a song in a book or something, because I see songs in books all the time, is my big worry is, am I conforming to the right rhyming sequence for a song?
yeah,
Yes. Yes, and that's the thing that I love about it is because you can experiment, you can do what you want. You don't there's no bounds. And I mean, that's the exact same with the book, but I think people definitely need to give the medium a try because it's quite rewarding when you write something that you enjoy and is your own. It's like no one
Mhm.
else can say that they have your brand of poetry, because it's your own. It's what you wrote. It's not a Shakespeare sonnet. It's mine. It's
Mhm.
Kira's free verse.
and it's really cool to see how poetry has sort of evolved since its inception. Like, as I,
Mhm.
one of the cool things as a teacher and like as a tutor, I get to go back and like look at the Shakespearean sonnets, and uh, it's almost funny too because we teach that in school as we should,
Mhm.
but it's like the kids don't understand what half the stuff is, and they don't
Mhm.
have enough time in school to thoroughly educate them on what everything means. So it's
Mhm.
like they come to me as a tutor and they're like, I don't understand this, could you explain it? And it's like I read the Shakespearean sonnet or like some sort of extension of that, and I'm like, well, essentially this dude doesn't like this dude because this dude likes that girl which he likes, and it's like,
Mhm.
how would you feel if you were creeping up on somebody else's or if somebody was creeping up on your girl? Oh yeah, that makes much more sense. Like I'm trying to think of what the last one was. Over the summer when the pandemic hit, I did meet with somebody who was really struggling in English, and I think it was A Midsummer's Dream. I think it was what
I had to read that one, and yes,
yeah,
it does
Yep.
get quite confusing.
Whew.
yeah. And she was like, I have no idea what's going on in the story whatsoever.
Mhm.
And it's like you have like this four-way love triangle. It's like, if I remember right, it was this person loved this girl, but the girl loved another guy. And then another guy loved that other girl. And it's like they
It
were
was a
all
whole
trying to
mess.
get with each other. And it's like you see the characters in Midsummer's Dream, they're sort of just looking at these four people like, I need to fix this because this is chaos. And it just, of course, when you try to fix something like that, chaos ensues. And it just makes
Mhm.
everything worse.
Absolutely. I mean, I think mostly it's difficult because it wasn't necessarily, I mean, it's a play, and plays are meant to be acted out and not really you know read out just, in your head. I think it's a lot easier if you have a play going on to like get the concept of what's going on, because you got a billion characters that you've got to keep track of, and what they're doing, what they're saying. And
reading stage direction like in a book, it's like, what is this? What does this mean?
Yeah, especially like interludes, like in Midsummer Night's Dream. Oh my god. Like the interludes just threw me completely off. I'm like, what just happened?
I actually agree with that point.
Like, okay.
I actually, just so you guys know, I was in theater a lot in high school, so I remember when you saw a big difference. We saw a few Shakespeare shows, and I think when you see Shakespeare, you realize how funny they actually are when you see it played out. Like just reading it, you're definitely missing like blocking and certain things. So definitely a lot of the humor in Shakespeare comes out better when you see it live.
Absolutely, you get that body language and those big expressions.
Oh yeah, and especially like when you can actually like picture the characters when you have like someone on screen in costume, or you can really picture what he was trying to put together, and even some other people's like unique twists on it, because not everyone has the same costuming
or even the same line delivery. Some people might whisper a line, some people might shout it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say like this is definitely my favorite stream so far. I mean, I definitely like the whole round table thing going here, and of course the audience are really liking it too. Of course, Kira is like the MVP of the show. Everyone loves Kira, so
MVP.
You all are great. I couldn't do it without you. And plus, I really enjoy talking with everyone. Everyone's got a very cool personality, I think, that's easy to, I guess jive with, like I don't find the awkwardness as much. Like I feel like I can relate to everyone here. Like I think we're all a bit nerdy, and we have the same interests and everything. It's really cool. I quite enjoy it.
You just need to see Lord of the Rings though.
Sorry, what was that? It cut out for a minute.
I said you just need to see Lord of the Rings, though. That's the only thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. The next writing sprints I come on, I'll have watch it all and we can geek out.
That's the end all be all right there.
And I totally agree with everything you said, though.
We're subverting those introvert expectations for writers. It's like, no, we can talk to people, like we can socialize and hang out.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And of course, Sharon says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say I definitely consider myself kind of like an ambivert type of thing. Like I love going out and meeting people and talking with people. I think it's got to be the right people. There are some people I just like, okay, let's not. But I also like my introverted time where I'm just by myself. So I think that helps a lot.
Absolutely. And of course, Sharon says, can't wait to read your first published poetry book. Neither can I. Whenever you get around to publishing that, you got to link me in there so I can purchase it, and then you can school me on all things poetry.
Yeah, I need some poetry pointers.
And I'll make sure that she sees Lord of the Rings. Oh, there you go. A friend in need right there.
I'll write some poetry about Lord of the Rings. Like I'll do like an extended universe type of thing, and what we'll do.
You can write about there.
The books actually have a lot of songs in them, especially The Hobbit. They have like
crazy how many songs they have.
Oh yeah, especially
like the movies don't even. Yeah, the movies don't even really touch it. Like The Hobbit does a bit more, but like there's a lot there in terms of poetry for sure.
Well, the thing about Tolkien as a writer is, if you read Tolkien, he comes from a generation where detail is super important.
Absolutely.
And, the one thing I do respect that, but at the same time, the one thing that always frustrated me was when he talked about something, and like I'm really big on lore building, so like it didn't bother me as much at first, but like going back and really look at it like retrospectively, he would talk about something that happened like 100 years ago and never bring it up again. like we're in like the woods, and he goes, well, over there, 5 miles down the road, in a cabin, this dude found some magic berries, and he turned into a dragon and stole a bunch of gold. Nothing happens.
Those writers.
It's like, oh, by the way, it's like whenever my grandfather pulls me aside and is like, yeah, you see the house? I built that house.
Yeah.
And then
every dad/grandfather ever.
Have you also heard that story where, like, he mentions in the expanded lore that there's the two blue wizards. He mentions them once, and then he's like, "No, I didn't plan anything out for those guys. I don't have backstories or names for them."
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's funny too because like I'm poking fun at Tolkien, but like I did this, and Alec and my editor Brielle, they can attest to that. Like essentially when I first started writing, I wrote generically just like Tolkien. I went on and on and on and on and on. She's like, you can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. Not in the modern era. The modern era wants everything concise, wants easy to read. You're gonna lose people that way. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh crap.
Don't want to look into things too much. Yeah.
And it's also because like the culture that we're in now is so series based now. Like everything's a trilogy, everything's a saga. So everyone, especially like if you're writing fantasy, science fiction, they expect a lot of world building and a lot of rules.
Mm-hmm. You got to adhere to that certain kind of guideline. I think for me with poetry, and I hate being this kind of person. I don't like being a gatekeeper. But on Instagram, I will be very discouraged when I look and I see like a post with 20,000 likes that just says something to the extent of like, my heart is broken so bad that like, have you ever just like sat on public transportation and cried, or something like that because you just couldn't handle your feelings anymore? And it's like said exactly like that. And I'm like, how in the world is this? You have to be so relatable now and so almost basic to kind of like grab attention. People, I think almost don't go for like the style and uniqueness anymore. It's almost kind of dumbed down, and I hate saying that. I don't like being a gatekeeper, but some of it just gets ridiculous. And I'll go into my mom and I'll be ranting, raving. I'm like, how in the world does this have this many likes? Like, there's no
right, though. Like, you really are. It's like I was talking to Matt before the stream started about what works on Instagram, what doesn't, and what I noticed is that if you post like a selfie, that gets a whole bunch of likes compared to like if you post like poetry. I'm like,
same
like
thing.
Here I am posting like a quote from my book, and I'm like, please go out and buy my book, and it gets like
it's like 5 likes.
5 likes. And I post a silly close up of my Bloodborne character, and that gets like 45 likes off the bat in like the first hour. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And it's like when I posted like a picture of like when I got my new haircut or whatever, it's like I do appreciate the compliments and people that say looks nice or whatever, but it's like I would rather have that attention more towards what I'm actually putting effort into. Like, it doesn't take much effort to have your hair cut. It doesn't take much effort to post a picture of yourself online. What it does take effort to do is to write, and it seems like in the internet culture, if it's not spelt out for you or so visual, it's looked over completely.
Absolutely.
Well, I can tell a little story in relation to that. So as Andrew knows, but not all, I'm really into filmmaking. Actually, I made several short films while going to my college, and we've had a YouTube channel, but in the past of like the video that I've uploaded to YouTube that has had the most views, no contest, is, I swear, I knew how to play piano. I think I showed how to play like the SpongeBob cop theme song, and I figured out how to do it, and I posted to YouTube because I saw no one else did it. It has like 13,000 views. Meanwhile, all these films I've made, original pieces and whatnot, you pretty much don't get anything. So random crap, honestly, is what people want sometimes.
Seriously,
whatever's memeable.
Whatever.
I was just about to say that. Anything that can slightly be turned into a meme is also what gets attention.
So before we get going, I'm gonna say a few things if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
Instagram, you're gonna get cut off in like I'm going to get the warning in like maybe 6 minutes or so that it's going to start counting me down and like, playing the Academy Award winning music and like, you need to end the stream. So, if you guys want to catch like what's going on here, you're going to have to go over to Twitch, YouTube, all that other good stuff and look at us there. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until we bring the broadcast back up. So just keep that in mind. The stream's going to end soon and it's going to end during this fantastic conversation. And with that said, oops, I did it again.
Oops, I did it again. Oh, man.
Exactly. At least twice or 3 times during the stream, I get distracted with wonderful conversation and or tasks that I forget to talk about the writing prompt. So writing prompt number 2, which we completely blew through in the last sprint, and I'm just going to like mention it real quick before I switch to 3. Writing prompt number 2 was your spouse has left you has left you but forgotten to take his or her credit card. You're not poor, so how would you use the card in ways that would really upset your ex? I feel like that's a really good one.
That's one that you can really expand on and like kind of do like a comedic thing with, if you're one for writing comedy, like I feel like that could be a great plot line for that.
And then, of course, since we're writing the third sprint, the third writing prompt was you're about to meet your partner's rich parents. What would you say in order to make them believe that you are the perfect for their son or daughter?
That could be another one.
I'm not in it for the money.
This is a meet the parent type writing prompt.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, there is the man.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, Alec?
I'm just
Good
chilling.
to see you. Good to see you, Matt. Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you.
Oh my God. All right. Let me be honest. Again, distracted by conversation, right? So, my boy Alec here is 3 followers away from 600 followers on Instagram. So you're not
Let's get him there, guys.
Alec Pangea author on Instagram. Get him up to 600 followers. We just need 3 more followers.
Listen, I'm not saying to you to the person out there who's going to get me those last 3 followers. I'm not saying you should owe me a favor. I should owe you a favor. I'm just saying that sometimes I give free books out. That's all.
Hey, I think it's more.
No, my headphones died on me.
But, while Kira's changing out her headphones there, if you guys are liking what you're seeing and seeing, we have a really high viewership today. So if you aren't subscribed to us on One True Promotion on YouTube, you can head over to One True Promotion on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button, and you can get notified whenever any of us go live with the broadcast. Of course, Alec is always doing his broadcasting shows. Nick is always live with his art. And of course, I'm going to be live with gaming and, of course, with writing sprints, which is what we're doing now, where you see a whole bunch of fantastic artists, authors, and the Crasher herself, Haley, in the corner. Hello.
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 Hello, Nick.
Hi,
Hello,
I'm
Ann.
getting there.
Hey,
But, we got a full house today with sprints, and like I said, this is my favorite show because like all the personalities on this screen is just too much for YouTube.
Hashtag break YouTube.
Hey, that was meant to be.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Put that in a bad direction. Nope, no negativity on this stream. That was a comment. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, hit that nice little red subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're following us on Twitch, subscribe to us on Twitch. That way you can see me when I go play Bloodborne and pretty much cry in a little corner when I get ganged up on by all of the forces of evil.
I'm sure that doesn't happen at all, especially not in a game like that. It's very rare.
It's sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And of course, Sharon says, hi, Alec. And you writers should have a reunion next summer after COVID is over here in New Jersey. Kira, you're welcome to stay with me. Oh, wow. So, yeah, we should have a nice little get together. Everybody just come and hang out.
I've never
That'd
been
be
to Jersey,
cool.
so I'm game.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, Sharon. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hi, Sharon.
It's
would
nice
be
to
a
have
lot of fun.
Andrew, man, make a shameless plug while I'm here.
Yeah, go for it. Everyone can like throw shameless plugs. I mean, hold on, let me see. Do I have?
Hey, I
should-
haven't plugged anything either. Yeah, I called next
I was
after Alec.
looking for your book too.
Whose book?
For Nick's book, for when you're done your shameless plug, I can plug his as well.
Well,
Wait a minute.
you go
Is
first,
it-
Alec. You got a plug.
My shameless plug for all of you who are watching this. I am very excited to be on Writing Sprints right now with a group of very talented writers and artists and poets. I'm sure everybody in attendance can speak to those talents. By the way, if you are interested in having your work featured for free in a show called Live Readings, where I read your work and we give you a full author showcase, directing people to your channels, letting them know your story, and letting them know how best to support you in one very concisely, beautifully recorded stream. Did I just say English? If you would like to be featured in live readings,
Actually, no.
December 8th, 9 p.m., please submit your work to onetruepromotion2020@gmail.com. I'll be reading submissions live. Andrew will be running the show. Everybody who is here right now is encouraged to join. Everybody who is watching is welcome. We are looking to get this stream on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. We are looking to reach the widest audience we have ever reached. We may have the stream go for 2 whole hours, which we've never done on live readings before. We want to get as many authors as possible. We want to showcase as many authors as possible. This is essentially going to be, after Andrew's remarkable birthday stream, which I'm very excited about coming up, it is going to be the next biggest stream that One True Promotion has ever attempted. So I really hope that you will consider contributing some of your work, because I would love to have the chance to read it. Please send your submissions by Thanksgiving. I will be collecting them early and familiarizing myself with them so that I can give you the best reading possible. And yeah, that is Live Readings, December 8th, 2020, 9 p.m. Please join us. We would love to feature you.
That's awesome. I'll mark it on my calendar.
Mhm.
All right. I love it.
Listen to that like weatherman like voice you got there, Alec. That was
He does.
that was flawless.
Thank you.
Seamless.
you. I appreciate it. It was my, I'm sure in somewhere on Earth too, for those of you who watch The Flash, Alec Pangea is a weatherman. Not the victim in one of the episodes. So
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Love it.
Now I
Nick,
just
you
have
got
to write a novel about a weatherman and have you read it.
There you go.
I'll read it. I'll read whatever you want me to read. Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Very meta. Okay, let me bring the camera down. So actually, I'm working on a witch right now, by the way, just a random witch because it's Halloween coming up. So I am working on a piece for Andrew's Sanguinary Song, which I'm not going to pull out just yet, but you'll see soon, Andrew. But let me do my shameless plug. So I actually have written a novel myself. It's called Life is Death, The Death of Earth. This is supposed to be part of a series since you see the big one here. And this is basically anime as a novel. It's long story short, it's about a boy named Daichi. He lives in Japan and he's made a death. And death has to stabilize the world population by killing people. And they're issued one of the 4 elements to do that, such as earth, water, fire, and air. Daichi gets earth, and he has to like create earthquakes to kill people, basically. But there's other deaths, and some of them are evil. So you have to see what happens in the story of that, and you can actually pick it up on Amazon. It is this novel is celebrating its 5th anniversary this year, actually.
Wow.
This is
And
my
of course, Sharon
first
says,
novel.
"Meet you at school, Alec." Wow, Alec's getting a lot of love in the comments too.
Yeah.
Miss you
So,
too.
and
Miss you too. I miss everybody at school. I was just hired at Hamilton Public Schools, actually. So I will be moving on to my next job, but I will miss everybody at Special Services eternally. I couldn't even begin to put that in words. So thank you. I hope things are going well over there and nobody's getting sick. Yeah,
Hi, Instagram. We're back.
yeah.
And you missed Nick's shameless plug. Ah.
Aw. The plug was great though. I'm like, I didn't recognize that I would leave this stream like with so many things now to read. I mean, I thought a few, but Now I got a bunch to read by some really great writers that know how to sell their darn books.
People at once.
Yeah, Nick, it sounds like you got a lot of inspiration from Death Note and Avatar: The Last Airbender for that.
A little bit. You know what's funny? When I wrote "Life Is Death, The Death Birth," you'll find this amazing. I had never seen Avatar at the time.
Really?
And now my friends my close friends, I would always ask, like, am I stealing from Avatar? Am I stealing from Avatar? Just because I was so busy writing, I never watched the show. I've seen it now since then, and I do it differently. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, you can still use the 4 elements and not be ripping off Avatar, which is good. You just gotta,
Yeah, exactly.
you just gotta not do it exactly as how they do it. Like I do
Just
it in
don't
more
call it
modern.
bending.
Yeah, and also the death element helps because it ties it to like something else. Whereas in Avatar, they're just like, they got Avatar factor. So yeah. But yeah, and also anyone who wants to check out my art on Instagram, I draw a lot of old school manga art.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's really good.
Thank you.
that is
Definitely
really good.
give you a follow after this.
Here's Black Cat.
Mhm.
Marvel's Black Cat.
As seen on Writing Sprints.
Yeah, some of them have been on writing sprints, but yeah, follow my profile for more art.
And of course, Sharon asked, "What grade, Alec? What grade?"
I'm working at Hamilton High School.
She did mention she lives in Hamilton too, which is a small world because hey, whenever you live in South Jersey, it seems like that we know everyone. That we're
Right.
always so close together.
That's right.
It
We
is a
all went
small
to the same
world.
2 colleges too, it seems.
Yeah, Stockton's doing well, by the way, Alec. Cases aren't bad there. They're actually
Oh, I'm
we're
so
actually
glad
one of the
to
best
hear
in the
that.
state. I feel
Very-
totally safe at work.
Talented art indeed.
What's that?
Very talented art indeed.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think she got stuck back there.
Who's stuck? Is Haley stuck?
No, Haley's
No.
fine. It's
Oh, okay.
it's the cat. The cat.
Oh, I can't always tell them apart. I'm sorry.
Oh man. I just hear like all the rummaging going on in the back, like she's like running into the shelves and stuff.
That's just what cats do, though.
Just looking for something to knock off the counter.
I have
Yep.
received word that she is in fact good, so we're good to go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you're actually lucky that you're not hearing her tell Haley to get the heck out of the room, because she is currently sitting in her spot. So whenever Haley is sitting in the corner there, she gets really angry and starts meowing.
Don't jinx it.
Oh, she's about to do it. Oh no, she's gonna want out. Oh wow, she's taking the high road this time, Haley. You've earned yourself a reprieve.
For once.
She, your cat knows she's being watched.
Yeah, the whole world has eyes on her right now.
Too many witnesses.
Too many witnesses. She's acting sus, bro.
She's just trying to get her limelight. That's the only way she could do it.
Yeah, and of course we're on a nice little break here. Man, this has been an awesome show so far. It's gone by so quickly too. We're already in our we're getting ready to go on our 4th sprint.
Hey, Matt, I
Crazy.
just thought of a crazy idea. What if COVID is just like writing names in the Death Note this whole time?
Oh my god! In all honesty, it wouldn't surprise me, man. Like there was
Something's going on. Yep.
over
In
in Japan.
2020, anything's possible.
I think it's more accurate that we're in another level of Jumanji.
Haley says we're in another level of Jumanji.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Or this is a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, a glitch in the Matrix. Wow.
That too. Everything.
A little bit. 2020 is a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just mixed up in one. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this preemptively before I do it again. Writing prompt number 4 is on the board. He opened the door to find her standing there crying. Why?
Well,
Hmm.
Why? I don't know. That's for you guys to decide.
because Green vented in front of me and then tried to blame me on everyone.
Because Green vented in front of her and tried to blame her.
But it's all too close to home.
Yeah.
There's a Greco joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. So
Say
you guys,
15% or more.
unfortunately, you guys don't know about that, but there is this dude named Richard Grieco. He's an actor. He was at HorrorCon with us, and we, of course, went to karaoke. And our friend wanted to sing a song, so she put her name into the karaoke machine. But because he was a celebrity, Richard got to keep jumping in front of everybody, and every other song would be Richard Grieco, and he was like mad drunk. And all he would do is scream, "Yeah!" over and over again.
Oh man!
So it's been the running joke here on any of our broadcasts that if anything goes wrong, it's because Richard Grieco is coming to get us. Like he's out to get us for slandering his good name, talking about his drunk exploits.
He's gonna pop in like the Kool-Aid man, and be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah."
Just joins the stream.
It's
Hey,
no."
Andrew, for all you know, he could have been the one who bought like all 70 copies of your book. You have no idea.
Well, if that's the case, thank you, Richard. You're the best.
That's a pretty generous revenge, yeah.
Let's hope he didn't do it in like a drunken fit, or maybe maybe
Yeah,
that's what you think him.
You know.
Maybe he thought he hacked your account and was deleting the book 70 times, but he actually did it.
He's like, "This will show him."
What happened to my bank?
Oh boy. Oh man. So
Sharon gets our top commenter award, I must say.
She always does.
She's blowing
She's
it up
super
in the comments.
interactive. That's why we love her.
That is right. That's right.
Our first bow to dead air.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm like double checking something real quick.
I am very
Fine.
excited that Matthew
Making sure the audio and all is good.
Mm-hmm.
Riley joined the stream. So did Dan. So did Maddie. Hi. Hello. Thanks for joining. What's up,
Hi,
Riley?
everyone.
We're sort of hanging out here. We got, of course, Matt, Kira, Alec, and of course Nick. Nick's doing his little drawings.
I'm not really here.
Alec's not really here.
Figment of your imagination.
And if you're not subscribed to Alec Bangio Author on Instagram, go over and subscribe to Alec Bangio Author on Instagram. He's only 3 follows away from 600.
I don't know if my photography account. I think my photography account follows you. I'll double check on that one because that could be an extra one for all I know.
Let's say I think I have both accounts following you of mine.
Go
So
tell people on go tell Joe and all to follow Alec on Instagram.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can make like a Maven Knight page and just have that follow you.
If there are fans out there of Matt Romeo and Kira Elise, they are going to be 2 of my next guests on Drop a Line. So
Awesome.
if you follow Alec Pandia, you get to see Kira and Matt. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yay.
Alec Bangio Author on Instagram.
Very much looking forward to that.
Me too.
It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful to have you. I'm so glad you guys are doing the show.
Sounds good,
Thank
man.
you.
It is.
Yeah. If you guys could follow him, get him to 600, man. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. Let's try to do it this
I'm
stream.
putting a bat signal out there for you guys to come in.
Let's see if I have.
It just says three followers in the sky.
Yeah.
We put it in Discord. We put it on Instagram. We put it on our stream here. So we're hopefully to get you 3 followers. Oh, hold on. We got some prompts
Ooh.
going. Sharon says, as he looked into her eyes, silence fell as she stood there, reaching for her. She collapsed in his arms, sobbing.
I really like that, Sharon.
Wow. That was
Dang.
awesome.
That's good.
That's very captivating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Drop the Discord link. So the Discord link, Haley, could you copy the Discord link and put it on the Instagram stream? Thank you. Because I can't do it without ending the Instagram stream, and I don't want you guys to disappear.
in the Instagram.
I am not a writer, but I tried to add LOL.
You did well.
Did
That was
well.
great.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you for participating with that writing prompt. We got a lot of cool ones. Like we did an Among Us one last stream, and of course it was let me try to remember the exact wording. So you found a body. Do you report it or do you ignore it?
I bet there were a lot of interesting prompts for that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like
I
everyone
was gonna
knows.
say, who's the imposter? Who's the innocent? You know, what's going on there?
Yeah, the imposter can self-report.
Mm-hmm.
Last night when we were playing, they kept thinking every single time I reported it was me because I do self-report a lot when I panic. But I will never not report a body if I find one. If I find one, I'm going to report it. So that's why I told them. But I kept getting to be the imposter last night, and it was rough because I'm a bad liar, but I'm a good bull crapper.
Uh-huh.
So I can't lie, but I'm pretty good at trying to put blame on other people.
Mm-hmm.
The whole group was angry because I was killing them one by one and getting away with it until the very end. It was me, one other person in our group, and then a stranger who joined. So the stranger couldn't hear us talking, couldn't hear that we confirmed it was me. And what happened was I killed another person right in front of green, when black was across the room from us. And I thought for sure I was over. And he put on there, and black put on there, of course, the guy I was playing with in my group said, "Oh yeah, purple sucks, vote purple." The other guy's like, "Yeah, purple sucks." And I went, "Okay, vote for me, but you guys are going to lose, I swear." And all of a sudden, he goes, "Black was sus though." And then he's like, and then he's typing after he voted, because the other guy voted immediately after that. He typed in the chat, "Are you kidding me? I wasn't even in the room yet." And I won. And I literally love it.
And of course, the cool thing about our Discord server, for those of you who just signed up, thank you. I appreciate you. The cool thing about Discord is that everything in the Discord server right there has all the One True Promotion authors and, of course, artists. So you got one for me, one for Nick, one for Carrie, one for Alec.
I promise I'll start adding stuff soon.
And Nick's promising
sure
he's going to start adding stuff soon, so we're holding them to it. But the other cool, interesting thing is that we have an Among Us chat, and that's where a lot of us get together for Among Us games. I'm actually going to probably stream that at some point once I get the hang of it. But yeah, join our community at One True Promotion. We have a lot of interesting conversations. Everyone is accepting of everyone, and yeah, we're looking to grow our community and have more interesting content like this. 100%.
Awesome.
So I'm hearing a lot of gaming talk coming from all you guys. So I got to inquire, what type of games do you guys go for?
All right, so should I go first, or does anyone want to go first?
Whatever's good to think.
Well,
right,
mine's the smallest to go over. I'll admit I still have not really tried Among Us yet. I know that's crazy.
Same
but,
here.
Yeah, but in terms of video games, I have a PS4. I've been spending a lot of time drawing more so lately, so I haven't played a lot of games, but I really I tried Final Fantasy 15 over the break, which I had a lot of fun with. I played Nier Automata, which I really liked.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy 7, the remake, and I've never tried the original, so I can't speak on the original, but I love the characters. As Andrew's seen, I've done a Tifa fan art a while ago on Sprints. But yeah, I like open world RPGs that you can explore and stuff. So that's what I like personally.
And of course, Sharon loves Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush is the
Bringing it
of,
back.
mobile games.
Oh.
So for me personally, I'm into a lot of the classic games, a lot of classic Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 was my all-time favorite. And I also loved the remake, even though people trashed on it. I thought it was great for what it was. But I'm into a lot of those classic games as well as the Dark Souls Soulsborne universe. So pretty much any one of those challenging games made by Firm Software. And when you see me start my Twitch stream, of course, I'm starting with Bloodborne. But I will also play a lot of Resident Evil, do some challenge runs like Knife Only or interesting stuff like that. But yeah, that's primarily where I go. Resident Evil, Dark Souls, and then of course I play whatever mainstream title is going on, like God of War or anything like that. So I mean, I do a little bit of everything, and then of course Fall Guys. Let's give Fall Guys some respect too, because that's a fun game.
So that kind of fell out of public
You're a
relevance.
Fall Guy.
You just download it. I have so many people who want to play with you.
Oh boy, I have to download it for console, but.
As for me, I think I'm a lot like Nick. I like the open world RPGs. Also just regular like RPGs and stuff. My absolute favorite, I was telling Andrew about it. I even sent him the trailer. I'm like, buy it, buy it, buy it. But I really love this game. Okami came out a long time ago for the PS2. It's my absolute favorite. But I love, the Zelda games. Recently I've been playing a lot of Fate Grand Order. I actually have a friend who I met online who I think might be watching the stream. So I met him through that game. And then, and Minecraft too. That's a big one for me.
Good old Minecraft.
It's a
good old
fail-safe.
Minecraft.
And Brielle says Animal Crossing, of course, and that's a big one.
I wasn't able to get the new one. I want to get it so bad. Like my niece and my nephew have it, and actually not my niece and my nephew. I don't think they have that one. They have Smash, and that's the one I'm jealous of. But they
old Smash.
Yeah, I think my cousin's kids, they have Animal Crossing, and they were up there and they were like showing me their islands and their characters and everything and their little blue and pink switches, and I was super jealous.
Of course, I love all the active chat today. We got Brielle, Kiera's on my level, gaming wise, heart with a heart. And of course, Sharon says, my 10-year-old grandson's plays something I cannot understand with other voices coming from the TV playing with him. Every now and then he yells at someone for getting him killed. Probably from that description alone, I'm guessing it's Call of Duty.
Or Fortnite.
Fortnite is the one I was going to guess.
Yeah, I was a big Call of Duty player. I was a big Call of Duty player for a while, so that sounds about right.
And of course, Brielle says, I visited a few of my friends and we got to hang out during quarantine, which is so lovely. I know. And it's like, I feel like this is why this is one of my favorite streams, is because there's so many of us here just talking, and, any type of like schedule that I might have had or like pre-planning just went out the window when we just started discussing like really cool stuff. And this is what I like. I like it when the show sort of guides itself. It's like I'll spend hours combing over what I have to do if it's dead air or whatever to keep people on. When people are talking, it does my job for me. I can just throw away the notes, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, Andrew, it's because we have so many people this time. That I think that's what's really the difference this time.
it was Fortnite.
Yeah,
it's like a D&D session. Like if you're prepping for a campaign, you can do as much prep as you want, but that you're not going to cover anything, or you're not going to cover everything, because your players might just decide to be like, oh, let's go off this way.
Yeah, I figured that's what it meant, Brielle. She was talking about visiting their islands virtually, but yeah. I'm having fun. I can't wait to the next one. I'm glad you're having fun. This is the whole point of writing sprints. Is we're here to entertain you for 2 hours.
It's definitely been a fun one. I mean,
yeah, this has been great.
I really didn't expect this awesome conversation. Like all the nerves I had coming into this, my shaky everything. It's like it's just out the window. I just feel like I'm talking with a group of friends.
Yeah.
I just met pretty much everyone here today.
Yeah,
that's
it's funny.
How it should feel.
I was tripping over myself beginning of the show. For some reason I couldn't find words. I didn't know where they went. They were gone.
We all have those days, man, where it's just like, oh, I had it, but not anymore.
I tell you what, though, it's been really weird, having kids into the school recently, and we have a program called Go Guardian. And Go Guardian allows us to see every screen of the students, so we know if they're off task or not. So, of course, me being like the biggest troll in the room, whenever I notice that they're off task, I close their tabs on them.
Oh my gosh!
So it's like some of them were like watching like Netflix, like they were watching what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's Gilmore There it is. I'm tripping again. Gilmore Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, watching Gilmore did it again. Girls. Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
Yes.
Say
it is.
alliteration.
Say it like 6 times twice, but
Not Golden Girls, but Gilmore Girls.
yes. Both shows are excellent. But yeah, I kept like canceling out on their tabs. So like she kept watching it, and then I would hit the X, and then she'd like wait a second, then bring it back up again. I hit the X again. And I actually caught someone playing Among Us in class. And I literally wrote in the chat, there's one Among Us who isn't on their notes. And all of a sudden, you hear like a dead silence, and the kid goes, back in the room.
You should
No way. Super
that,
chill. I always love watching and being here. Thank you, Braille. Like we had Braille on last week. She was doing some Sanguinary Song art, and we're getting towards the end of that, which is fantastic. I can't wait to see the final products, but we'll have Braille on again. Hopefully we'll have Braille on with everyone else here. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially
since she said she's like in the same games as me. We'll definitely her, you know.
I think you two would get along like really well.
Absolutely.
And of course, Braille says a Gilmore Girl Gores sounds a lot like a Halloween version. Yeah,
hey guys, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying because I just, man.
The Gilmore Girls. You were talking
Gilmore
about.
Ghouls.
Yeah, tune in to see Mr. Bass actually say something correctly.
The way you said it, you sounded like shoot, what's his name? The guy from the Despicable Me. Gilmore Girls.
Girls. Girls.
Nobody. Oh, no, see now when she gets back, we got to talk to her about that.
Yeah,
Where she paints.
That's a big thing. She paints.
She does everything. She's universally loved by everyone in chat, and she paints.
Man, you got a star guest right there.
Oh man, but yeah, that's some interesting.
All right,
stuff.
everybody, say something you do.
Say something.
We got to match up. Everybody, say one talent you have. Go.
I think you went the same place I did.
I was gonna go gaming. Yeah. But I was like, that's not necessarily a talent. It's just something that I do. So I'll stick with it. I'll say gaming.
There you go, Nick.
Drawing, obviously.
Andrew.
Entertaining.
There you go.
There you go, man.
Oh, there we go. And she also has great hair. Great, all capitalized too.
There you go. We were not talking about you while you were gone.
Yeah, everyone was lying in wait.
We were not. We spent the time you were gone talking about you.
All right, so I've got the perfect graphic for this moment. So just
Okay.
So breaking news, apparently Kira paints. And according to Brielle, you have great hair. Great, all capitalized.
Well,
Great.
thank you. I appreciate the compliment. That's great. And yeah, I do paint. I kind of recently took it up. I mean, I do watercolor. I also did some acrylic painting with Sharon, actually. Didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. Like, it looked better in my head than what came out on the canvas, but I still like it. I had it hanging up in my room for the longest time. But yeah, I do like painting.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, watercolors are tricky. I actually do more marker art. I've done one or two in watercolor, but it's very tricky. So I have a lot of credit for you there.
It really is. Like trying to learn that, especially like when I don't have the best tools. Like it's not the best watercolor. I don't have the best brushes, you know, and I don't think the paper's that great either. But I try my best.
The paper's what kills me because I use a smooth paper for my art that I do here, and then I ink it and make a copy.
Yeah.
And I can't really put a watercolor paper in the printer, but I use these Copic markers for coloring, and yeah, it's just more straightforward for me. It's a little cleaner, but yeah, that's the one thing with watercolor. I just find it can get a little messy real fast.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got all my art supplies and stuff in like a, I'll try to show it. And like a big pumpkin basket.
Now we gotta see the portfolio.
Oh Lord. Okay. Oh, let me get it here.
Everything is better than my evil lizard.
Evil lizard?
Now my interest is piqued.
I know, mine is too.
Lizard.
That's in the hallway?
Oh yeah, that lizard I just discovered that's been there for years. Yeah.
My 6th grade project.
Oh crap, where did it go?
So make sure, like, as much as I'm loving this conversation, make sure we actually have enough time. Like, if we don't interrupt me, for both of you guys to read a sample of your work, since you guys took some time to prepare that for us.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Because like I definitely want to make sure that everybody at home gets a chance to see you guys live and in charge, especially Matt. I seen you do a live reading the other day, and it's funny. I always tell Alec he has a great reading voice, but you also have a great reading voice, and
thank you.
You do much better than me trying to read it. Like obviously,
That's better than me, I'm sure.
In there, but
yeah, it's the theater background, because like for the longest time I wanted to try and possibly get into voice acting, but I just didn't know what avenues to go down for that. So
I really wish I would have met you right around the time I did my my campaign for my characters, because I definitely could have used some people to volunteer to do voice acting for what I was doing.
Oh, absolutely! I would have gone for it, man.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, ever need anything?
So I found my paintings. I was desperately
right.
searching through my book because I thought I put it in there, but I didn't. I put them in my drawer, so I was having a panic attack. But here's some of the paintings.
Ooh.
I kind of went on them for like my poetry and stuff. Like I went with specific crap. I'm like messing up with the angles here. There we go. Everything's backwards. And then that one, which is one that I posted with a poem that's on my page on Instagram. You can find it.
Lovely.
Cool.
But it was fun doing the gradients.
Let me put that up there too, real quick.
Yeah, those are very nice. I like those a lot. They're very
Thank
good at.
you.
Well done, Kira.
Thank you.
And you guys can follow Matt and Kira at those Instagram handles at the bottom. Make sure you guys are showing them some love as well. We're trying to get Alec to 600 followers, but we're also trying to grow their following. We want to get them to 600 and beyond. We here at One True Promotion all about growth and supporting our fellow authors and poets and artists. So
absolutely,
make sure you guys are buying local and buying independent and supporting your independent authors. And most importantly, because me and Matt talked about this in great length, review. We really need reviews. Like, the most important thing an author can do is get a review. So if you find a book that you really like or an author you really like, I don't if they're big, small, whatever, get on Amazon or wherever you bought your book and put a nice little review. Put your 2 cents in. Hey, I'll be perfectly fine getting a 1-star from somebody as long as somebody went on and reviewed me.
And that's the thing.
It's all about the numbers.
Well, and constructive criticism too. I mean, I think everyone can use some negative feedback here and there.
Absolutely.
For their work, it helps you grow.
Absolutely. And you can't be a writer without a little bit of a thick skin there. And of course, we're getting into our next writing sprint, so I'm going to put that back on the screen here. And of course, writing prompt number 5 is the old house, which is, with its wildly overgrown garden, was silent and secretive. Ooh, sounds like a scene from Sanguinary Song. I'm going to be completely honest here, especially with the forest and its deep, dark, serious.
I'm getting some Resident Evil vibes from that.
Yeah, Resident Evil too.
I would say I love that. I mean, what you wrote there, Sharon, was great, and enchanting does work in there perfectly.
Oh,
You did
and
good.
I'm glad you said that too, because Sharon pitched in here. The old house with its wildly overgrown garden was silent, secretive, and enchanting. And she said, enchanting, don't think that makes sense. I actually think it does kind of make sense.
It
Yeah.
does.
There's an eeriness that is kind of enchanting about some houses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's enticing.
I'm a big,
Yeah.
fan of transfixing myself.
Transfixing. That's a good
That's
one.
a good one.
I'm not sure if
Or
Nick.
way too much.
I'm not sure if Nick got that far in Sanguinary Song, but there is a particular scene that I think about when I read this writing prompt, and it sort of sets up the vibe for that particular chapter.
I don't know. I'm halfway through, but don't worry about spoiling anything.
Spoilers.
Well, don't spoil it
I
for
am
me.
drawing that.
'cause I got to get to it.
I'm drawing that foresty aspect, Andrew. I'm gonna incorporate that, of course. Mainly, what I'm gonna draw is Christina. I think since it's her birthday,
Yeah, happy birthday, Christina. Oh,
and
boy.
to you.
Oh, yeah, and to me. Yeah.
Write your heart out, Sharon. Write your heart out.
Okay, cool. I wonder if I have a hidden writing talent at my older age. LOL. I love it. Hey, and that's the beauty of these prompts. Like, it's supposed to get you going.
That's right.
And it's funny too, because I'm getting close to 30 at this point. Like, I'll be 29 in just a few weeks, or like a week or two. And there's this running joke that I have with every one of my colleagues at work, and it's once you hit 30, you stay 30 for the rest of your life. So whenever someone asks you how old you are, you're 30.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your birthday? How old are you? I'm 30.
30.
That's it. You're 30 for the rest of your life. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm a little younger. I'm gonna be 25 soon.
Lucky you.
He's a youngin.
And then, of course, Patrice, talk about the old house in the wood.
There was an old house in the woods where I used to live down in West Virginia. It was all completely abandoned, and it was overgrown. I think it was probably built in like maybe late 1800s. And my mom and I would like make a trek up the hill and go there, and we found like such neat things like jars and different things. She wouldn't let me go in that one in particular. But then there was another one that was built in like, I don't know, maybe the 40s or something. Super neat. We were going in there finding like newspaper paper clippings, like Edison bulbs, a little tricycle for a kid. And it's like all stuff that was just completely abandoned there. It was extremely enchanting to use Sharon's word.
Wow.
It was like a yard full of history right there.
Yeah.
That does sound really cool.
Absolutely. It was very, very awesome.
I kind of got that vibe from your paintings too, especially like the one of the tree where it's like sunset-y looking.
With like a lot of the
thank you.
creeping branches going up.
Yeah, I really like the color scheme of it too. Like, I always enjoy painting.
Be back.
I get to see like the different colors that get involved, and how you're able to kind of mix those colors together. Because like whenever I was painting in art class, like one thing I noticed is that I couldn't like use multiple colors because they would always mix and then look weird. I was like, I'm not good at this. It just smudges everywhere.
It's like I gotta have defined lines of color.
Yeah, I actually have a separate portfolio which I keep. I actually have painted with gouache, which is an opaque watercolor, but I got this one which everyone seems to like.
Oh yeah, that is really good.
I did this one. It's a little older. Tried to do Mount Fuji. And then I did this one. I think I did this on Valentine's Day.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Real quick, I had to put everything on speaker. Let me know if there's any weird audio things that come from that, because my headphones died, and then I had to go grab a charger, and now I can't put the wired headphones into there.
Oh no.
Mess.
All
okay to
technical
me.
difficulties.
Yes, didn't expect everything would die this quickly.
Thank you for the compliment, Sharon. Much appreciated.
It's interesting too because it's something that Nick and I have sort of run into going into everything. We always run into the charging issues, so we have to make sure our devices are charged. And
Yeah. By the way, I may have crashed the party, but I did not crash with enough battery. I'm going. Yeah, I'm
Nick
already
is
heading
about to blink out of existence.
Yeah, I'm at like 5% now, so I'm probably gonna go. I'm at the point where it's wrong where I need to start looking up reference anyway to know if I'm drawing costumes right. So it was nice to meet you all, by the way.
It was wonderful.
It was nice to
Follow
meet you,
all.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for stopping by.
Nice to meet you,
We're
Nick.
excited to follow you, and
Absolutely. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
out your art, man.
yeah,
Yeah, we need some mutual follows here. I'll make sure to do that.
absolutely.
Awesome.
All right.
And of course, we got all of our Instagram handles right at the bottom of the screen there. There's mine, there's Alex, there's Nick's, and of course Carrie's Tangible Voices podcast. Hey, Alec, why don't you talk about Carrie's podcast real quick?
So bye,
Eric,
guys.
background.
I'll head out now.
Take care.
Good night,
Hey, Nick.
guys.
Bye, Nick.
Bye. Okay, is my audio
So-
okay?
Was that?
Is my audio okay?
Yep.
Got a little bit lower.
Yeah, you're a little bit lower, but I can still hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because this thing is messing up, and now like my speakers are doing something weird and giving me like a static. So I'm
Yeah, I
no.
can hear a
your
little bit of it.
guys' end.
Ah, I got attacked. Haley is attacking me. She's trying to take over the show.
Yeah, what's crazy is I had everything charged to 100%. I made sure I did everything correctly, but it just all drained.
Yeah, it
I mean,
happens when
completely.
you're live streaming. Everything eats away at your battery.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hey, Alec, did you want to promote Carrie stuff, or
Yes, please. Yes, I just wanted to.
I didn't know if you couldn't hear me or if you just
Sure, I
couldn't
get my wording right. Want to do it justice. So, Tangible Voices is a space where true voices from the past and present can be uncovered, shift our perspective, and resonate with our lives today. Carrie, an educator, performer, and artist, hopes to put many different voices over the loudspeaker, so to speak, through this podcast. Just to give you an example, her first episode is called They Came to Stay, and I'll read you the description. To kick off my series, over the next few episodes, I will be reading accounts from African-American women who changed history, and in their own words. The book I'll be reading from is called I Dream a World, Portraits of Black Women Who Changed America. The book contains photographs and interviews by Brian Lanker, edited Barbara Summers, forward by Maya Angelou. This book was originally published in 1989. Today I will be reading They Came to Stay, Maya Angelou's forward to I Dream a World. This is a captivating, heart-wrenching, brutally honest reminder of the weight African-turned American women have carried for the USA. In this year, 2020, the Amplify Melanated Voices movement has taken off. I'm an African-American myself, a descendant of West Africans, and the more I learn about my people, the more I desire to share our story. Though I had conceived this very episode last year, I'm beginning to come to the understanding that everything happens for a reason, and this is an important time to begin releasing stories to the world. And that is episode 1 of Tangible Voices, and so far there are 7 episodes. So if you're interested in Tangible Voices podcast, it is on Spotify, it is on Anchor, it is on Apple Podcasts. You can check it out pretty much anywhere. And to bring back a theme from about 10 minutes ago, if you listen to Carrie's podcast, please leave a review. Please, please, please leave a review. Reviews are so needed for podcasters just as much as authors. Dear God, please leave a review. I will die if you don't leave a review. So some of you out there may want that. Some of you out there may want that. That is okay. We have a difference of opinion. But for those of you that don't, please leave a review, please.
I wanted to say that's very admirable. Her goals there with that podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was
We've got
awesome.
a lot of traction lately. Alec, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure quite a few people that she's included in her podcast have reached out to her at this point.
Yes, she has been reaching. Yeah, I'm trying. Let me see if I can.
I can't remember exactly who it was,
Yeah.
but I remember it was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
So right before we get too deep into this, I do want to remind our two wonderful guests to keep in mind that they can share their work if they.
Oh yes.
Definitely need to do that before the show is over, especially since we're creeping up on the last.
Has it been almost 2 hours already? Like, this
almost
is crazy.
Yeah. We got one more sprint after this, but yeah, we're getting close to the end, and I definitely want to make sure that you guys get your voices out there and your work out there, so we can get you guys some more followers and more views. I've heard her on her podcast. She's got a beautiful voice as she reads. Yeah, she's got an amazing voice. So does Alec, and so does Matt. They sort of they sort of put the environment into the reading, of course, and there's nothing more inspiring than listening to somebody who has that voice that can immerse you into the story. And it's like, that's why whenever we talk about live readings, I have Alec read my stuff, because he makes them 10 times better than if I would say it.
I didn't actually hear any of that, but Andrew, thank you for praising my voice. I don't know what you see in it, but it's great to have your support. I personally like your voice very much. I have to say, every time you call me, my heart flutters. Like,
I seem to have that effect on people.
You get inspired.
Yeah, I mean, it's a voice like warm honey. So thank you.
Comparison.
Yes, I've known Andrew since we were 14 years old. Pardon me. my 14-year friend executive card just came out there. I don't even know what that is. Why do you invite me on these things? I don't even know what I'm saying.
You're really tripping over my own words.
Oh my Lord.
Live reading is definitely a skill, very commendable. I totally agree.
Well, thank you. To just answer a question from earlier, we Carrie has been doing Tangible Voices podcast for the past summer. And for those of you who may not know, Jewel Jackson McCabe, she was the first president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, and was even under consideration to be a leader of the NAACP. And she personally reached out to Carrie to thank her for talking about her on her podcast, which is amazing. Mary Berry talked to her first. She helped free Nelson Mandela and was seen on Trevor Noah shortly before COVID-19, and just many, many civil rights endeavors. These people were greatly involved in some of the most important historical incidents, or events rather, of the previous century. And two of them actually directly reached out to Carrie to thank her for telling their stories live on the air. And to me, that's really amazing. One, because that's amazing. But for another thing, it just, some of us who do these live streams and do these podcasts, and even who publish independent books or art albums, might have a bit of imposter syndrome, but what you put out into the world does get an answer back. It is received, and if you're putting out something positive and good, it makes a heck of a difference. It really does. So to everybody on here who's doing your thing live, my props to you. You're my favorite kind of person.
Thank you.
Definitely agree.
And of course, everyone in the chat is praising it, and rightfully so. It's very humbling to get that sort of acknowledgement from your peers, and to be able to sort of bring to the foreground stuff that isn't exactly discussed as often. So it's really a great service that Barry is doing for everyone. Sorry, I just got distracted again.
It's the timer.
All right.
It's the timer. The timer is like you gotta be on point here.
Absolutely.
All right. I agree. Very inspirational. Yeah, totally. Totally. So, I guess what my next question would be, before we get into the live readings, does everyone here have a favorite book?
Favorite book?
Favorite book? Anything you might have read that you very much enjoy?
For me, it would have to be one I read just recently, but Nectar in a Sieve by Kamala Markandeya, I believe. Brilliant. It's if no one has read it before, it's kind of about this Indian woman in a time, kind of before huge growth and stuff, and her and her husband and her kids own a farm, and just the struggles of daily life, and how basically like how to pay the bills, but like way back when when you had to, you're basically starved and you can't eat what you grow, you have to sell that pretty much just so you can survive and stay in the place that you need to. It's just an amazing book, heart-wrenching, very captivating, and the dialogue is just written perfectly.
I'd have to say my favorite book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It's so complex but simple to understand at the same time. Sanderson, he has all these big complex ideas and he has a lot of characters, but you grow on all of the characters, you understand how his magic system works, and just he has such rich lore building. And yeah, I love it.
Absolutely. Of course, Brielle says Every Day by David Leviathan. She actually got me into that book. It was very enjoyable. It used to be Looking for Alaska for many, many years, and it's still close second. But I keep going back to Every Day, so I think it's my favorite at this point. And I think that's a important thing to note is I feel like favorite books do tend to change as you get older.
Yeah.
Of course, Sharon says, Heinz Feet on Higher Places, author Hannah Hernard. I'm probably butchering that name, as I tend to do. I can read that book over and over again. And that's a good book. And I would say for me, it's Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth. It's a great book about the medieval world, and it's a very realistic view of the medieval world. I remember it was assigned to me in college, and everybody freaked out because the book is well over 1,000 pages, and we had 3 weeks to read it. And my professor was like, "You guys shouldn't even complain. This book is fantastic, and you guys are not going to be able to put it down." And literally wherever I went, I had this book out. It was like if I had like 2 minutes to myself, quickly whip open that book, and I'm like, I got to read it. And I got through that 1,000 pages in like 2 weeks. And to this day, it's still my favorite book.
I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm. That's when you know it's a good book, when you can rush through 1,000 pages in just a few weeks.
Absolutely.
And definitely, Sharon, don't worry about it. I do that all the time. So Heinz Feet on High Places. Yeah, I am the king of like misspelling things, as Brielle will vouch for me there. She as my fantastic editor has called me out on that multiple times, as has Alec. So I make their life 10 times difficult than it has to be.
That's all right. We love you anyway.
Absolutely.
So, Alec, did you want to share your favorite book before I use my very awkward transition to the next topic at hand, which is the live readings of our two very awesome and magnificent guests here?
Bro, I don't even remember my favorite book. I was very into this book, Vicious by V. Schwab, recently. That was fantastic. That was part of my big reading list I was on. That was basically like a real life attempt at doing a superhero story. Basically like envisioning if Charles Xavier and Professor X were two college students who just conducted an experiment that went horribly wrong. It was pretty awesome. I highly recommend it to anybody who is even remotely into into comics and realism. It just came together perfectly. It was awesome.
I was actually going to say it was either that or Hunchback of Notre Dame. If I was of course, Brielle says, "Oh, posh, you're okay," talking about my spelling, but she said it's the grammar. What a smiley face, and that is 100% true. I am the worst at grammar, 100%. I am the most shameful writer you'll ever meet when it comes to grammar.
Yes, I am a big Victor Hugo fan. I read I've read a book and a half by Victor Hugo. I feel pretty proud of myself. People have read a lot more than that, but I'm taking the credit for doing the bare minimum.
And I have to be careful and spell check before I send, which I'm always in a hurry and then send. I have said unintentional, inappropriate things. Yeah,
that happens all the time.
My favorite is when I try to say the F word and I say duck instead.
It's all, but then it comes out even better when you just when it says duck.
Yeah, I just leave it because it's perfect.
See,
And of
me,
course,
when I
writing
talk,
prompt number. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kira.
No, you're fine. I interrupted. Go ahead.
Writing problem number 6. She found something that would mean she would never be poor again, but there was a catch. What would she find, and what's the catch? Someone's over here purring.
As I was gonna say, I think when I text people, I, especially if it's someone who responds back the same way, I tend to write novels when I text. So, occasionally I'll get the bad grammar and typos and look back through and I'm like, why didn't I check this before sending? But it's like so much that I've already spent like an hour typing it anyway. So
yeah.
I do the same thing. I have too many thoughts at once, so I put them all into one text, and then afterwards I text them. I'm so sorry, such a long post. Or such a long text.
Alec has already criticized me for that, like many times. Because I send him paragraphs upon paragraphs with book ideas, and then what I'll do, and this really frustrates him even more, is if I don't send him the paragraphs upon paragraphs, I send him very little paragraphs, and it's just like he finally gets to his phone, and it's like 64 notifications.
It's one of those things where if I see a certain number, it boils the list down to one possible person. I'm like, what is going on here? What do you want? What?
That's when you send him a follow-up text. You just say, summarize right now.
Yeah. Listen, I've been out of work, so I feel like I've been better and less of a crotchety, irritable person that he's describing on his end over there. But there were a couple moments where when I was working long hours and it would be the end of the day and I was perfectly willing to listen, but your brain is drained at the end of the day and you can't read that much. I would just politely say, "Listen, bud, can you just give me a couple notes and real quick, just give me the clip notes to respond to, because it's been a day, But yeah, I do try. I try to read every line of what you send me.
And of course, you guys didn't get this impression because, like, I've been like trying to be as professional as possible. Put on this facade that I'm like this big TV producer or something. Like, no, I'm just kidding. But it's like when I get something in my mind, I have to get it out. And it's like there's times where it's like I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had a dream and I was like, oh, this is gonna fit perfect for my book. And then I just send Alec a text at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I send him text too. He does the same thing back for me. And actually, recently they've become such productive conversations that I've actually, in addition to the notes I make privately, I've actually just started screenshotting Andrew just to reflect back on, because I'm able to lay out so much there. Like, we've had that communication pattern for over a decade. It's listen, we make our jokes and stuff, but there was a fellow who's been on the show before, James Ellerby, who was an established poet, and he really spoke to me. He looked at us, he looked at what we had going on back when I was book signing and Andrew was supporting me before his own publication. And he looked at us both and he just said, what you two have is indispensable. And I was like, you know what? That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
I totally on my own with all of this. I've always been very blessed
Whatever
to
works,
have our
works.
humble host with me. What's that?
Whatever works, you know?
Mhm.
Like, there doesn't have to be a specific way. If it works,
That's
go
right.
with it.
That's right.
And Andrew, you've got me convinced that you're a big time producer based on how this whole thing has gone. Like,
No, thank you.
I tried doing podcasting with my buddy when we got out of college, and this is just top tier level stuff, man.
Well,
Like,
you know,
fake it till you make it, but you've already made it.
Yeah.
I'm trying, okay. But no, seriously though. I do remember you, like, when you sent me your bio, and I had this big old, like, again, we got away from like my like plan, like I was gonna like read like some of your stuff like to everyone so we can introduce you guys. And it's like this whole conversation just took off this magical, wonderful stream that we had. But I remember you bringing up that you were a podcaster, and I also used to podcast. I did wrestling podcasts, and I also did my own podcast, which sort of took a little bit of sabbatical when the pandemic hit before I started writing sprints. And that was my biggest thing, and I would always tell Alec how hard it was to podcast. And it's like, it's a little bit different, like what Carrie's doing, because she has sources that she can bring up and read, and it's more or less just a one-person show, as opposed to like what usual podcasting is, where you need like more than one person to carry a conversation.
Exactly.
And, it's like I would have to struggle to find people for my shows, and it's like I had one or two guests that came on besides Alec, but the majority of shows that I did was with Alec. And with Alec's busy schedule, it was like, hey, I can't keep doing this forever. And I know how hard it is to podcast, and it's always something I've loved doing and I want to keep getting into. So I totally feel you there, man. The podcasting and getting into that world, and you wanting to keep going with it, but it just gets to the point where it's like it's so hard to keep going.
With scheduling, and then you got to find ways to pay bills until you get that following. It's like it was a little too much for us to handle.
Yeah.
I love you, but I noticed that watching this could be a good drinking game, because every time you said you should take a shot.
Come on, man.
Hey, that'll be the next podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna call it just
Yeah, there. Perfect.
And everybody does shots.
Oh no! Oops. Instagram. I'm getting the axe. Instagram is going bye-bye. I'm so sorry, guys. It's counting me down. I have 1 minute and 42 seconds to close out the Instagram stream.
That's right.
Well, here's the thing. If you guys want to continue the conversation, you're going to have to go over to StreamYard, of course. We're going to be chatting over here for a little bit more, or a little bit longer. We definitely want to get those live readings going. So tune in to us at Facebook at Andrew Best, Andrew Best Author, Alec Ninja Author, One True Promotion on Facebook, and of course, One True Promotion on YouTube and Twitch and Discord. So Discord was in the chat for both places. Jump over to StreamYards, and we'll continue the conversation. We'll see you there. And of course, have a good day. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Instagram.
So Instagram, see you later. Poor Instagram. Instagram just got the F.
They had to be different, and
They
now
were playing the Academy Award music, man. They were shooing me off stage.
Yep.
Like, you've reached your limit. So
you've said your acceptance speech. Go.
Yeah, the cane just came out and dragged you off stage.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sprints 10, 9, and part 2. Don't mind me. I'm just linking the video to Instagram.
Cool.
We got 8 people playing Among Us.
Oh, you got 8 people playing Among Us. So again, stop by our wonderful Discord server. Just in the stream alone, I'm like super proud of everyone. We've gained, I think it's like 3 or 4 people on Discord, and I think we gained 2 or 3 followers from Instagram, not Instagram, YouTube, and of course on Twitch.
At least 2 or 3 of them were specifically for the Among Us group. Because
Hey, if you're just joining for the Among Us group, hey, more power to you.
Because I know some people are inviting, like, people I played with last night, they're inviting their friends or their siblings to play. Like Gab's gonna be joining soon.
Andrew,
Good idea.
Yes, sir.
I will have to be going about now, unfortunately. I do have to start getting some things going off camera. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody and goodbye to our viewers now. Matthew and Kira, though, I'm very much looking forward to having you both on Drop-A-Line this year. And while I'm doing my nightly chores, I will be listening in to hear your live readings. So
All right.
I look forward to it, Alec.
Absolutely.
So nice seeing you, Alec.
So nice to
meeting
meet
you, Matt.
you both. I'm so excited to have you both on. Andrew, thank you for having me. This is a fantastic show. I'm very proud of you, as always.
Thank you.
Andrew brings about 80% of the likability to this brand. So it's a place for everybody to be. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Alec.
See you, Alec.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, and it's back to the 3 of us again.
Back to where we started.
The triumvirate.
Yes. Yeah. So, before we go, since we're getting down to our last final timer on the sprint, I would like you guys to share your work if you guys are still open to that. And then once that happens, we'll close out the show. And I can't believe 2 hours has already gone by. We're in OT, and I'm absolutely loving it. I don't want to end the stream.
Yeah, this has been a blast.
It has been. Definitely have to do this again because I enjoyed it so much.
Well, Kira, if you'd like to go first.
Sure.
Or I'll say, would you like to go first? I don't want to volunteer you.
No, it's fine. I don't mind.
But yeah, just on the footnotes version of that, like, you guys are welcome back anytime, 100%. This is
awesome,
fantastic. I would love to have you guys back on.
Good night, Sharon.
My mom I'm pretty sure she's been watching the stream this entire time, and she's out in the living room laughing. I hear her laughing every now and then.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys enjoy it. And like I said, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please follow each of us. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, on Twitch. Definitely get involved in the conversation. We host all these shows like this every week, and I'm sure we're going to have our fantastic guests back, in the future, 100%.
Absolutely.
So without any further ado, the show is yours.
Alrighty, I've got it pulled up here now. Finally, okay. This is a poem I wrote back in July of this year. It is called "Cherry Blossoms Break" by the Forcefulness of the Gale. On the bench of the park, these trees flourish. Wise is the old man watching them diminish. Every day I hand him loosened flowers I found. Every time he thanks me, but leaves them on the ground. Eventually, I turn to ask him for his reasoning. With harshened voice, he recounts the beginning. See, when stamens lose their delicate petals, they embark on a journey before reaching the entrails. The ground of which they now call their home will consume them eventually in time's ticking draw. So whilst beauty is lost to the gust of fate, they must return to the place they fell in wait. Who are we to try and save what's left? The wind, it took them for a reason they've meant. Sitting here taught him a time or two about life. The blossoms, he said, bear resemblance to his wife, warning too that one day the wind will shake his buds, that for which he prays for, so he can rejoin his love. So he rests by his lonesome on that bench every day, studying the trails of all the petals falling in May. And I still continue to bring him the fallen ones, because as he returns them, his smile outshines the sun.
Wow.
And just real quick, I want to make a quick dedication to that to a good friend. I don't know if he's still watching, but his name is Alejandro. He just lost his life partner just within the past few days, so that is for him.
Wow,
That's very sweet.
that was beautiful. That hit right here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I was actually talking up to Matt before he came onto the stream. I was telling him how you sent the sample over, and I got it, and like it just blew me away.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'll get mine ready to go. I'll just give a brief, I guess, scene. Can't words right now. I'm having that trouble now too.
Hey, I hear you. We all scream.
No, it's late. Can't be perfect.
So it's in one of the first few chapters. The characters have all met. It's on one of the point of views. The female protagonist, Serena. There are storms that come through the land made of nanites, and the group has just gotten caught up in one of those. So this is where it begins. Similar to an incoming sandstorm, a cloud of silvery filaments creeps over the dunes in the distance. Occasional tendrils seep out from the cloud as it tramples over the terrain at an impressive speed. An eerie gust of wind picks up, and a distant howl can be heard as the storm spirals towards us. Over the howl of the wind, a creeping hiss emanates from the distance as I see the royal consume the terrain in its dark silver mist. Gradually, I adopt a look of alarm and start to back away as the others hastily start running. Dread grips me, preventing movement. I struggle to fight out of it. In my moment of hesitation, I'm the last to turn south and sprint away from the miasma. I'm not used to running with equipment. The weight presses me down into the sandy terrain with each step. All of the equipment we acquired is a serious hindrance, but I can't slow or stop. The straps and gear smack all over the place as I enter an all-out sprint, my boots digging into the sand with each step. With the others a few meters in front of me and kicking up sand, I'm forced to squint my eyes to remain stable. Sand blurs my vision. I inhale the filaments and cough. I can't stop. The turbulent winds kick up from the storm, creating swirling clouds of sand. As the howl of the storm grows more audible, I grow more frantic and desperate in my pace as I quicken my stride. I've never been a good long-distance runner. Sprinting is my specialty. But the weight keeps me slow. My legs ache. The straps tear at my shoulders, and my breaths are shallow. The hiss grows louder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank
I'm
you.
hooked.
I'm telling you.
Dang. That was amazing.
Thank you.
It put me, like, right in the world. You know? Like, I love writing that's immersive like that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And first person is that's how I was able to immerse in that, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm really glad you guys were able to share some of your stuff on stream. And I'm sorry I got pushed all the way
Thank
to
you.
the end. You know, it's just we're having such a
All good.
great show and great conversation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was enjoying it thoroughly.
Yeah, just getting to talk with you guys has been just a blast for the last 2 hours.
And of course, we're getting a
Absolutely.
round of applause here for the both of you guys. And
Absolutely.
felt like you were in a storm. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh man. So I guess you know, we're getting to that point where we get to say goodnight, and you know, I say it ain't so
Yeah.
because you know the stream is awesome. And I've had absolute blast. This is 100% my favorite stream. I'm gonna go out and on record and say that. So before we go, I'm gonna give a nice little plug again to Sanguinary Song, my debut novel, and I guess I'll hold it up for you guys over here. So Sanguinary Song is about a coven of witches that protect the world from supernatural creatures. It's live now on Amazon. It's selling pretty well. Yeah, it's one of those fantastic stories about witchcraft, magical creatures, and I got a nice little pitch for it. Once hunted, now the hunter. When a wicked evil lurks in the shadows, only Christina has the power to save the world. And of course, Sanguinary Song is a spellbinding first tale in the Sanguinary series of magical YA novels. So if you guys are interested or in Sanguinary Song and you know the premise of the story, please head over to Amazon and of course pick it up. It's $3.99 for ebook and $13.99 for paperback.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Boom. So we did all our plugs, and of course we have some comments. Great job to all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, thank you to my guests, Matt and Kira, for popping in, giving this a go, and sort of just letting go and having a great time. And yeah, we all love Kira. She's amazing.
Thanks,
And she has great hair.
Great hair.
That's the biggest takeaway. She paints and she has great hair.
It was a rush to do it right before the stream. I mean,
I hear
I was
you.
like, I got to get in there 7 o'clock. Got to get there.
That's gonna be the
Luckily,
hashtag
I don't
of
have
the
to
show.
worry about it. Like, it's nice and short. So
Yep, shaved head.
I one day I'll get there. I think I'll just get frustrated with it all and just be like, I'm done. Shave mine too.
awesome. And of course we still got the comments running in.
And she's funny too. So we're just getting all kinds of hashtags for Kira.
Yeah,
So funny,
we
man.
are gonna get her fandom kicked off today. She's gonna have 20 followers after this, hopefully.
I hope so too.
We're definitely trying to push everybody to Matt and Kira. And of course, man, I don't want to end the stream, but I got to narrow it down because I know you guys have been here for 2 hours, and I know I need to eat something because I haven't eaten yet. So,
Yeah.
There's always next time.
there's always next time, and like I said, you guys are welcome
Absolutely.
to come on whenever you guys are free. I would definitely like to have you both on again in the future.
Sounds great. I'm honestly,
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Like, this was a wonderful night. It was better than what I ever could have expected.
I'm so
Truly.
glad.
Same
So glad you
here.
guys enjoyed yourselves.
Mhm.
And all the promotion and stuff that went into it. I really did try to go all out and get you guys as many views as possible tonight to kind of maximize the interest in your genres. Especially Matt, you have your book out and you're sort of starting off your writing career. So
Absolutely.
it's as important as
you.
ever to get some followers.
Oh,
And
and
don't
you know,
forget,
with writing
moral of
like
the story,
that, I mean,
review.
Reviews.
absolutely the
So-
following and the reviews.
Yeah, follow and reviews. They're two most important things to remember from the stream, if anything else. So without all that said, I'm just gonna promote my happy birthday stream. Of course, it's Christina's birthday. Yeah, and it's gonna be an interesting event. There's gonna be bingo, and there's gonna be giveaways and much more. There's gonna be some surprising guests dropping by. There's gonna be birthday cake, and I'm gonna be revealing some new merch. Which is going to be really, really exciting. And of course, you're going to be able to win that said merch. So October 24th, it's going to be an awesome stream. Come out and win some free stuff because who doesn't like free stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Woohoo.
Another
So,
one
yeah.
to mark on my calendar. So I'm gonna be a busy woman.
That's the next big thing that's coming up in my universe. So if you guys are definitely available, pop by to stream and hopefully we can get you some free stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm most excited for the Sanguinary Song bingo. If you check my posts, I've actually sent the link to reserve your card for bingo. So it's like, as of right now, the space is limited, but if I break said attendance record, I'll expand it and get more people in. So if you guys
No,
definitely bingo, come check that out. And of course, the bingo, if you win bingo, you win a prize. So
Yeah.
Woohoo.
with that said, I want to again thank Matt and Kira for dropping by and for having a blast with us. Please make sure you're following them on social media. You can see the social media handles on the bottom of the screen. And of course, afterwards, I'm probably going to promote them until I reveal the next guest on Writing Sprint, which will most likely either be Brielle or Nick. Haven't really narrowed that down as of right now, but as soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure meeting you guys.
Absolutely. Same here. I mean,
Thank you.
couldn't have had a better night. There was better people, you know?
Yeah, this is definitely a blast, and I can't wait to do it again.
Same here. All right, guys. Well,
All right.
So
See ya.
I'm gonna say have a good night, and we're gonna play our outro, and that'll be it.
have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.